Hello everyone, Ogu Emmanuel is my name. If you are new in this channel, you are highly welcome. And a special thanks to all my returning subscribers and my esteemed viewers and everyone as well. Do you know why it is important to watch this revealing and exciting video about the hidden truths concerning women? Do you know? Do you know why you have to watch this video till the end? We are going to show you everything about this video titled The Truth No One Tells You About IGBO Women after this intro. Number 1. Women do not drink palm wine dregs. It is a very big taboo in Igbo land for men to co-sit with the women with the notion to share palm wine drinks together. Not to talk of handing over the dregs of palm wine to a woman. I mean, for those who did not understand what the word dregs means, palm wine dreg is those, can be said to be those whitish or cream-like things, you notice at the bottom of any palm wine kegs or gallon. In a normal Igbo tradition, palm wine dregs is actually meant for the newest married young man in the gathering, just to support his new bed ministry. You know what I mean? So in their absence, it can also be given to the oldest man in the gathering, just to grease one or two things in the old man's ministry too. Man is not made of stone. I hope you understand what I mean by that. So the second one is farting in the presence of your husband. As an Igbo man, I will not say much about this. Least the women will pin it to me, or they will pin it on me. Just watch and hear from the horse's mouth. I'm not saying that woman is a horse, so it's not exactly what I am saying.
Dear Adora, it is very wrong for you as a married Igbo woman to fart in the presence of your husband. If you must fart, not to the hearing of your husband or in the presence of your husband. And for some of you that doesn't understand what I mean by farting, I mean passing gas or nursing. And I don't know about other tribes, but I am very sure of Igbo land. Please don't come out here and start telling me about civilization. Do not come out and start telling me about that 21st century, because I've heard all of this stuff. We have a lady presently today that is having issues with her husband. What conspired? She farted in the presence of her husband, and her husband demands apology. My sister said she is not going to apologize. According to her, there is absolutely nothing wrong in a woman farting in the presence of her husband. That there is nothing there since they share everything. That most of her friends do messing competition. And most of you believe that any woman that is not farting in the presence of her husband has a lot she's hiding. Sister, that Mr. A doesn't mean that it's going to work for Mr. B. And I am not saying there is anything wrong with a woman farting in the presence of her husband. If the man is cool with it, sister, fart on, mess on. But when your husband does not like that idea of you farting in his presence, stop it. I am an Igbo woman. Where I come from, it is a sacrilege for a woman to fart in the presence of her husband or to the hearing of her husband. And if your husband farts in your presence, you will stay wherever you are, even if you are outside. In or outside, what you will shout is Mazio, you do your Mazio. Even your children, you will give him that respect for farting. Those days, if our mothers fart in the presence of our fathers, they kneel down immediately and apologize to our fathers. But if a stubborn woman insists that she's not going to apologize to her husband, husband, she will be sent back to her father's house for tutorial. And when she gets herself back, she will come back with a fowl or a goat. You people should start learning culture and tradition. 21st century is the reason why majority of you will not last 5 years in your marriages. Civilization is your problem.
Number 3. Women do not marry men. In Igbo land, it is a well-established fact. No matter how a woman feels or loves a man, the last thing she will do is to make the first direct move. It is not done. I don't think you can find it anywhere. She may create a well-understood I like you or I love you body language to the man, but to go to the man to make such moves is, I don't know if I can use this word, is un-Igbo. So it's not part of us. Everyone knows that. So everyone knows that everyone knows that pretense is part of the game. So if the man could read the handwriting on the wall and at the same time, feels the same to the girl too, there is this tendency there might be chemistry and cliques here and there between the two. Then the man is expected to make the first official move. Yes, the man will go and make the first official move to the lady. So the man will initiate a marital journey that will bring the two families together. So in Igbo land, it is the job of the interested young man to go make moves for a woman's hand in marriage. Then if by any means possible, the lady happens to, she happens to make the first official moves, it is usually misinterpreted in this part of our land, in this climb, and it may affect the woman's prestige, ego, or her pride in the near future of the relationship. Number 4, sharing of lands. One of the biggest things that can happen in the life of any married Igbo woman is giving birth to a male child. It is seen as something that properly establishes the authority of the woman's stay in her husband's, in her husband's life and house. Not in her father's house. So it is not part of Igbo tradition and customs to share lands with the female folks. It is always men's thing. But in the context of sharing things in Igbo land, women are not left empty-handed anyway. But as soon as an Igbo lady, for example, finishes her education, then indicates interest to learn a trade or work, what her family and relatives will do is to try their best to establish her in that area, getting things that will make her job more successful, something that will help her in her trade or job. So secondly, anytime she finds her husband, the family will also organize a very good send-off or parting gift to their daughter. That is a kind of gift that will enable her to live comfortably with her husband. Hence, the Igbo believes the right place of their women are in their husband's house, not in her father's house or her father's own. All right? So the 5th one is blessing of the kola nut. So due to the nature and how that nut is revered in Igbo land, kola nut is not just seem like an ordinary nut in the land. It is seen as a kind of communication link between the living, the gods, and our ancestors. In Igbo land, it is an abomination for a woman to bless kola nuts in the gathering of men, or even where any man is around. It is not done. I don't think you can find it anywhere around. There are no part of Igbo land that can tolerate that kind of tradition for whatever reason. You know, there are some things Igbo women can do, but not blessing of kola nut under any guise. You know, maybe you come and bless kola nut where you see that there are men around. It's an abomination in the land. It's an abomination. So the sixth one is women cannot undergo a facial Igbo Ichi mark. Igbo Ichi, that's what we call Igbo Ichi in Igbo customs and traditions. You know, so in Igbo traditional setting, it is a process where a strong man who wants to be honorable and acceptable everywhere he goes in Igbo land will undergo this process of Igbo Ichi by a special Obu Ichi, which will be done with a very sharp knife to cut his face with plenty of marks, as you know, to show that he's a man of valor, that he's a strong man. But before the cutting, he will be given any kind of food he would want to eat, so as to have enough strength to undergo this very painful facial marking procedure. So before the cutting and after it, he must not show any sign of pain. You know, so to cut this long story short, Igbo women cannot receive or stand the pain associated with this kind of painful facial marking. And it doesn't look good on their faces too, I don't think. You know, so it is only meant for strong and powerful Igbo men with bones. I hope you know what I mean by that. So the seventh one is woman removing her hair while the husband is still alive. In Igbo land, it is not an acceptable norm for a married woman whose husband is still alive to cut or remove her hair. It is a big abomination to the land, a disgrace to the woman, and a great disrespect to the man. So if an Igbo woman tries that, it means that she is already, she's already trying to show everyone that her husband is no more, and that she has just finished the man's funeral. So one of the reasons it might be allowed in Igbo land is only if if it happens to be a case of a well-confirmed health or spiritual reasons. That's where it may be accepted. So a woman's hair on her is seen as a glory to the woman and a respect to the husband. But due to recent state of things, fashion-wise, nowadays, some Igbo women are now commonly seen sporting tampered hairs as if it is going out of fashion. They just do anything they like with their hairs without minding whose us is God. Some women are now already breaking this unwritten rule without any consequences. Igbo women have their own regards, so it is expected when Igbo women respect themselves equally, they should be respected. Number 8, sitting like a woman. In Igbo land, the culture demands that Igbo women must maintain a reasonable amount of decorum, at least to the Igbo standard. Igbo women are not allowed to sit anyhow they like. Right from childhood, the first thing an Igbo mother will teach her daughter, with even a rebuke, a very serious rebuke, is many times the mothers will shout, "Will you sit like a woman, young lady?" So So when it comes to this correction, the word petting is not applied. The moment an Igbo girl sprays her legs apart, whether by mistake or carelessness, it is an invitation for a sharp rebuke, insults, hitting at the girl's laps, and sometimes pulling her stubborn ears to remind the girl that those ears are not for fancy. So the next thing the girl will face will be an emergency lecture on how a girl from a well-appointed home should sit, and how it is an arrow, that is abomination, that it is an, that is an abomination in our land. So it is not tolerated for an Igbo girl to sit with her legs spread apart. This is not tolerated in Igbo land at all. It is not tolerated. Nobody will accept that. The ninth one is the secretion of her matrimonial bed. This is probably the biggest abomination in Igbo land. It is the first abomination that kills a lot of things, both spiritually and physically, in the life of an Igbo man. It can destroy the man's ego, attracts disrespect from his folks in the community. It beats down the pride of any Igbo man. The parents, the relatives, the community where the said lady who committed this abomination came from even abhors this crime. They can't even tolerate it too. They will not accept it. So the woman's people sees it as a sacrilege and a very big letdown and a slap on their faces. So if it eventually happens, an investigation will be carried out to properly verify if it is true. If not, the first thing the husband will do is to stop eating the woman's food. And the next thing probably will be to send her back home, to send the woman back to their home where she came from. But sometimes after some critical thinking and considerations, what she will do is to go through the community ritual cleansing, Ekwala or Ekpo Ane, just like the Anambra people would say, to appease the gods of the land and to pacify the husband's honor and respect amongst his kinsmen. So in order to accept her back officially into the man's life and the community as well, from then on, nobody will taunt her again for that abomination, because she has done the Ekpuaro or Ekwala that is demanded by the customs and tradition of the Igbo. So that's how it is in the land. The 10th and the final one is women cannot be the judge in the community. So it is not done in Igbo land. I mean a woman becoming or making herself a judge over the gathering of men. If anything happens in the community, there is usually an avenue to go complain. It is not going to any female member of the community. Instead, you will take your complaint to one of the respected elders of the land, who will use the eyes of Onyichie or Dimpa, on the matter to know if it is something he can handle or treat by himself. So, if it is a case that demands the attention of the Igwe or Eze of the community, it is the man who treats the matter concerning the major issues of the land, not the women. So it's men that does that, not the women. But in Igbo land and in some extreme cases, women can intervene only if it is a case the men are not doing enough to tackle, they are not doing enough to tackle in the community. So women can quickly intervene to avert the calamity against the community by protesting. Sometimes by, collectively deciding that they will not grace their husband's bed until the men wakes up from their slumber. They can also protest by going half naked and many other ways they can do that to show their anger for the situation to be looked upon, for the situation to be corrected by the men. So, but still, it depends on the weight of the issue in the community. But it's only the man who will do something, finally, because of the woman's concern or intervention. So it's the men, after all might have been said and done, it's the men that will still know how to finally figure it out. So in Igbo land, it is the men that have the final say, while the women will treat their own issues by themselves. That's how it is done in Igbo land. And so please, why not go to the comment section of this channel? Please, tell us what you think about this video. Just let us know. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like on my Facebook page. Ring the notification bell, comment on this video, and do not forget to share. Share this video. It helps the algorithm. We shall meet in my next video. Bye-bye.